everyone, this is Julia, the Nomadic Crafter with Bambi in our Dodge van here, the southern part of the Oregon coast, and we are in a town called Port Orford. Thank you for coming to my video, and I hope that you will like it, and if you do, please press that like button and subscribe. So let me show you where we are. So right now, we're right here in Port Orford, a cute little town, which is the most westerly point here on the Oregon coast. And so it gets, when the weather comes through, it comes through. The sun's pretty bright today, but that'll change back and forth. That's the port right there. And you can take a shower down there for $1.50, but the thought of getting my dreadlocks wet while I'm in this climate is kind of scary. So last night we parked right down there, past that black truck. You can see the RV park down there is a big parking lot. And basically I found it on iOverlander, and it's a donation of $20 a night. So, and it's a suggested donation of $20 a night. So anyway, we parked there, got a nice little spot up against the side at the front there. And last night, oh my God. So last night when we were parked up there, everything was fine, beautiful, right on the coast. And then about 11 p.m., the winds start coming in, and it was like gale force winds. It was unbelievable. The whole van was shaking and like almost like lifting up from the wind coming under it. And we like pulled up a little bit, tried to angle differently, and then it was still the same. Then we pulled up more and more and like got up against the side as much as we could. And another Sprinter van that came in there and pulled in. They were gone. I was woken up in the middle of the night by all of the wind and tried to move the van again. And by then that other Sprinter was gone. They didn't make it through the night. It was unbelievable. I don't know how this RV was parked there lengthwise like that and didn't get toppled over. So I just went down to this little motel, and I'll point it out when we go down there, because I saw some hippie stuff in the window. And in fact, this whole town has many, many buildings that are multicolor, and there's a bunch of little cute cafes and art shops and galleries and stuff. And it's not like a real touristy town. So it's like, what gives? Because up here, it's pretty redneck. It's very fishermen, loggers, ranchers. So I went and talked to this hippie lady who runs this motel, and the office of the motel is her Upcycled hippie clothing shop. So there we are again, another upcycler hippie lady. And she told me all about the town, how it's like a total mix of redneck and oddball, she called it, or hip or creative or whatever. And that those are two extreme sides, and there's very few people that are in the middle, but everybody gets along. So it's one thing I love about the North Coast. It's kind of like that in Arcata too, but I'd say it's more hippie. But there's this mix of people, and all of these people that are out here in these more wild part of the country, more rough, more self-sustaining type of people out here, sort of get along and are more similar than any of the city folk. This is the, again, westernmost point of the Oregon coast, and so, or the southern coast or something. And so it gets all of the wind. And she said, I explained the winds last night, and she's like, that was nothing. And I'm telling you, it was like, I thought that whole thing was going to come crashing down into the ocean. It was very scary. So this is apparently a very windy place. But much like Northern California, it also wavers between, it was just raining. 10 minutes ago it was pouring, and now the sun's out. And 10 minutes from now, it's going to be different. And she did say there's a big storm coming in tonight. So we're going to make our way south, and we're going to share some of that with you. So here we go. Right now, we're going to head down to the town, which you saw some of in my video yesterday, I believe. And we would stay here another night, and there's another place to park in town. And they explicitly have signs, RV parking right here. It's like just one of the neighborhood roads. They're like, yeah, you guys can park here. There's no money involved. There's no problem. There's no phone calls. Very cool little town. But what was I saying? Oh, we're not staying tonight because of the winds we experienced last night. Otherwise, we could stay right there for a while, I'm pretty sure. And I would not say it's worth $20 for the night, considering we didn't get much sleep. But yeah, there's a lot of color here, and I was really surprised. So off to the left, you see the first little motel, the Shoreline Motel. That's where the hippie upcycling lady is. There's a Buddha's dispensary right there. It's a really cool little town. So that's there on the left. Oh, and she has a van too. So right here, I want to show you, this is Battle Rock Historic Wayside. And this is bus parking only. But first I want to just show you real quick. There's a sign right here, Battle Rock City Park. Battle Rock City Park has been dedicated in memory of the ancient people, Denechutna. I'm sure I said that wrong. And the pioneer founders of this town site. In 1850, the U.S. Congress passed the Oregon Donation Land Act. This act allowed white settlers to file claims on Indian land in Western Oregon, although no Indian nation had signed a single treaty. At least they recognized their Indian nations. Captain William Ticonor of the steamship Seagull landed 9 men on June 9, 1851, for the purpose of establishing a white settlement. This resulted in deadly conflict between the two cultures. For 2 weeks, the 9 were besieged on the island now called Battle Rock. Under cover of darkness, the party escaped north to Umpqua City. In July, Captain Ticonor again arrived with a well-armed party of 70 men and established the settlement called Port Orford. Wow, the government made a law that white people could come in onto Indian land. And then they tried to defend it. And those men, 9 men were stuck out on that island while Indian people were here on the coast, fending them off from coming onto their land. But eventually, again, more settlers arrived and they took it over. Hey, we're hitting the road now, leaving Port Orford. Thank you, Port Orford.